the 26th of July 2022, the authorities arrested Daniel Beals, Erica Eisenloffel, and Erica Guarino Bolt in connection to the death of Daniel and Erica's newborn son, who is believed to have died after ingesting meth and living in appalling conditions. They each faced with 1 count of child abuse and murder of the infant. The incident occurred on the 20th of October 2021 when a 911 call was made when officials responded to a home in Pahrump, Nevada on reports of a choking baby. When first responders arrived at the residence, they found a baby in a critical condition, and he was transported to a hospital in Las Vegas, where he died. The Nye County Sheriff's Office was contacted regarding the conditions of the baby's death, and due to Erica being the daughter of Nye County Under Sheriff Michael Eisenloffel, Nye County Sheriff Sharon Wheely handed the case to the Nevada Department of Investigation in order to avoid the appearance of impropriety. Under Sheriff Michael Eisenloffel said he had virtually no contact with his daughter Erica for 2 years because she had chosen a life of narcotics use and criminal activity. He said he didn't even know his daughter was pregnant and had a child until hearing about the case. The authorities said they believe the little boy suffered unjustifiable physical pain or mental suffering. The house he lived in was reportedly unsanitary, filled with excessive clutter and trash, and had drug paraphernalia, urine and feces on the walls and floor. The investigators suspect that the child died from ingesting meth, which was likely in some water or baby formula. The little boy was also reportedly malnourished and dehydrated. The investigation into the matter continues. On the 26th of July 2022, 25-year-old Alexander Yorchi Deberek pleaded guilty to the 2020 stabbing of his boyfriend, 30-year-old Chad Luera. The events unfolded on the 31st of October 2020. Alexander travelled from San Diego, where he lived, to Plainview, Texas, where his boyfriend lived. After landing in Lubbock, Texas that evening, he took a cab to a Sam's Club parking lot, where he purchased a Toyota Camry for $3,000 cash. He then drove to a Walmart, where he purchased a knife, a hatchet, a gas can, a collapsible shovel, a headlamp, a change of clothing, boots, personal hygiene items, and a first aid kit. Following the purchases, Alexander drove to his boyfriend's house and stabbed him 93 times on the side of a rural farm road and then dumped his body. Following the murder, Alexander fled to Houston, where he sold the vehicle used in the murder to an individual outside an auto auction. Chad's body was found a few days later on the 2nd of November, along the side of Farm to Market Road 400. Investigators later searched the sold vehicle and found blood in the backseat that matched the victim. Alexander reportedly remained on the run for 5 months until he turned himself into law enforcement in San Diego on the 18th of March 2021. While being booked into jail, he was asked about a tattoo of his boyfriend's first name on his ring finger. He answered it was the name of the person he had killed. U.S. Attorney Chad Meacham said, "This defendant plotted the murder of an innocent young man, methodically purchasing equipment, locating a stretch of desolate road, and stabbing the victim nearly 8 dozen times. Mr. Dubrick now faces the possibility of life behind bars pondering his evil act," he said. 32-year-old Chad Jennings and his 31-year-old girlfriend Catherine Penner are behind bars after being charged with an array of offences in connection to the killing of a toddler, then burning and disposing of its remains. Events unfolded at around 11 p.m. on the 26th of July 2022, when the authorities received a tip regarding a death of a baby located at 148 Old Highway 99 South in Seminole, Oklahoma. After obtaining a search warrant, officers arrived at the vacant lot in the very early hours of the 27th of July, where they found the charred remains of a toddler had been burnt and dumped at the property. The next-door neighbour Charles Maxwell said, "The crime scene tape when it went up, it was like a surreal moment because you only see it in movies and the TV. When we saw the vehicles and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations parked next door, then we knew it was serious. It's a shocker, you know. We live a quiet life and we like it that way," he said. Within hours, the investigation led detectives to Chad and Catherine's home, located at 1322 Timmons Street in Seminole, and described the location as a crime scene. By 5:13 a.m, the couple were booked into the Seminole County Jail. Chad faces charges of first-degree murder, abuse of a child by injury, and conspiracy. Catherine faces charges of accessory to murder, abuse of a child by injury, and desecration of a human corpse. The medical examiner's office is working to identify the victim and determining the child's cause of death. Spokeswoman for the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations, Brooke Bateman, said that until the child is identified positively by the medical examiner, and until the next of kin notifications can be made to any family members, they can't speculate on who the child is or the relationship between those that were arrested. She added that when a child's murdered, it's really hard. The investigation into the matter continues.